Live Sunday morning, 10:48. Let's see what's going on. We've got work permits to the UK. I guess hold on. Are those just Italian work permits, or do those also give them access to the rest of the EU? I wonder. There's no way I'll be able to find out. I'm not that good at researching the news yet. We can try. We can try and figure things out. We might not be able to, though. Let's see. Let's find out. Italy will grant more work permits to foreign workers while cracking down on migrants illegally crossing the Mediterranean to reach Europe. Okay. It's a little bit of yin, a little bit of yang. Rome announced almost 500,000 this year in 2025, so not lump sum. So it'll be probably... It was never really going to have a big impact, was it? How many people per year migrate across the Mediterranean? In 2021, 123,000 individuals. And prior to that, 95,000 in 2020. Huh. So, very interesting. So actually, that's about, let's see, it's going to roll out over this year in 2025. So this year's almost over, so that's a year and a half. So 500,000 over a year and a half. And in 2021, it didn't even get to 250,000. So that should actually have a significant impact, I hope. And lowered. Okay, but in 2019, COVID started to happen. But that's probably what explains this difference. This difference is probably, 20,000. It's a difference of 20,000. There were probably just less people who wanted to go. Who knows? And then it jumps right back up. So, right, post-COVID goes back to what it was. We assume what it was pre-COVID. Interesting. Migration. So much fun. Oh, the Italian economy is rebounding. Skilled workers could endanger its recovery plan. Well, it's a good thing they can share workers with the rest of Europe. Right? Isn't that sort of like kind of, part of the benefits of being in the EU? Skilled workers from Germany who can't find a job can just work in Italy. Plug gaps. Legal immigration story as old as time. Everyone says that. It remains to be seen. It's always one thing to let people immigrate into your country, but there are 0 countries that, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say. It's hard to speak in generalities about these things. Everyone's a little different. Fewer than 31,000. Already doubled. God, stop clicking off the fucking webpage. So they already doubled it. They already more than doubled it. They're going to triple it or quadruple it. In total, 12, 30. Yeah, okay. Boost the number each year. Skilled workers. What? Ah, God, I can't stand that. I just want to highlight one paragraph. Plumbers, nurses, bus drivers, fishermen, construction workers. So, skilled, I mean, I will definitely say fishermen is skilled. And construction workers are skilled. Plumbers are skilled. Nurses are skilled. Mechanics are skilled. Bus drivers. I don't think of bus drivers as being skilled. But there is a lot of technical things you need to know for like being a fisherman. Being a construction worker definitely has a type of skill, but not like a mechanical skill where like you're learning how to do something really complicated. But it is a skill in that you're good at it or you're bad at it. It's not a skill as in like, you know, no one goes to construction school, but you would go to like a mechanic school, right? I guess that's how I think about it. Maybe that's ignorant. I don't think it's that ignorant. It definitely takes skill to be a construction worker. I could not be a construction worker. I mean, I could, but I'd be fucking awful at it. Hypocrisy. God, every time. Oh my God, Yahoo, I hate you. Defended Rishi Sunak's deal. Well, threat to Italian culture, classic. Or a surrender as a national security. Interesting. Well, I mean, targeting NGOs, that's so scum. I'm gonna tackle immigration by stopping first responders from saving lives. You know, because if there's more dead immigrants. Turned away a charity-run ship. The boat eventually docked in France. Classic. Overnight on Friday, 230 migrants landed on the Italian island of Lampedusa. Major entry point. Rescued them from 6 small boats. So, NGOs can't rescue migrants. That's just so weird. That's the hypocrisy. This isn't, it's, see, like, and that's what's being buried in this lead here. It doesn't say who's accusing her of hypocrisy, but then it tells you what political party she's a part of, which is where the hypocrisy is coming from, right? The call is coming from inside the house. So it's actually very interesting and subtle writing to say 500,000 visas, 500,000 work permits, hypocritical. Fascists, support Rishi Sunak, hard right league, migrants are a threat to Italian culture. These are the 2 biggest paragraphs of the story. The other 3rd biggest paragraph is this one. I think you can tell this entire story with those 3 paragraphs, actually. Yeah, and this is huge. Nationals after complaints of staff shortages in sectors including tourism and construction. Construction workers. Bus drivers. Mechanics. Mechanics are always good to have. You can never have too many mechanics. Everyone drives a car. Well, actually, this is Europe. Nobody drives a car in Europe. Why the fuck do they need mechanics? But, anyways, this is really interesting, though. Turned away a charity-run ship carrying... And then this is where it's like... I don't know. Numbers are just super weird. Right? November last year. Turned away a charity-run ship with 230 immigrants. Friday, 230 immigrants. And they were rescued. But over here, no. So, And I don't really want to run cover for this lady. Especially because, you know, Nazis. But it's weird. It's a weird way to do immigration. Right? It certainly doesn't seem like she supports what the other fascists think about immigration if she's letting in 500,000 work visas. But, you know, that doesn't say a lot considering how well those immigrants are going to be treated. And if they are temporary immigrants, it's not like they're trying to integrate them culturally into society. They're just kind of working. You know? They're just kind of there for a job, and then they go home, I guess. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like, why would you adopt European culture if you're just going home at some point? I guess. That's my thinking anyways. So if you're living there, you would probably, I would imagine you would want to like feel Italian, become Italian, right? You know what I mean? She is the prime minister since October of last year. What did it say? September, October, November, December. So she did that right after she came into office. And then a year later, not even a full year later, this is July. It's not even October yet. So not even a full year. See, that's such a big turnaround. It is a lot of hypocrisy then, but the only people who would care about it, these fucking losers. Holy shit. That's so fucking funny. Nobody else is gonna call that hypocrisy. Everyone else is gonna look at that and go like, yeah, fucking told you. Fucking told you, lady. What else we got? Macron accused of authoritarianism. Man, fuck Macron. What a fucking moron. UK soaring liver cancer death rate blamed on alcohol and obesity. Sky is blue. Water is wet. This is interesting. And terrifying. Because if Moscow wants to talk to you about something that everyone on the planet has been responding to as the next major act of modern terrorism, then you should probably listen. Because either they're going to have something meaningful to say, and you might get some real diplomacy, or you will have a nifty little piece of political memorabilia before the nuclear plant gets exploded. Russia said on Sunday that NATO leaders should discuss conditions at Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant at their summit this week. So there was already a summit scheduled. They're just setting the agenda. An accident at the facility could affect the territories of alliance members. Really? You don't say. Let's look at this. Let's look at this summit. Russia-Ukraine Summit, July 2023. Oops, 2022. Reuters war updates. Live blog is now closed. Here are the updates for July 7th. Well, I know Zelensky is in Poland right now, isn't he? Vilnius Summit. Here we go. This was on Friday. Maybe there's more about it in the article. Yeah, and so since last week, really since the start of the war, Ukraine has been worried about this reactor committing suicide, which is reasonable. In terms of like mismanaging a nuclear power plant, I'm pretty sure Russia is the only country on the planet to suicide their own reactor. This is just, I mean, this is interesting. If you've been paying attention for the last week, this is just things you've already heard. Key attention should be devoted. Vast majority of Alliance members will be in direct impact zone. Interesting. So, obviously this isn't true. This is a very particular phrasing, right? Who's in the zone, right? What's south of Ukraine? Turkey. Okay, what's west of Ukraine? Hungary, Poland, Moldova. Moldova's not in NATO though, right? And this is just basically saying, I think, that the radiation is going to go west. But in the direct impact zone, that's very ominous, right? Because the direct impact zone, majority of the alliance members, I mean, it's on the eastern side of the Dnipro, isn't it? There's nobody in the alliance that would get hit by that. By just the explosion, it's the radiation. Where is Zaporizhia power plant? Maps. Okay. Yeah. Check this out. It's nowhere. Look at this. East of the Dnipro. This blows up. Right? I mean, Belarus isn't in the alliance. Poland's far away. The people that are going to get hit by this, I mean, the explode, like, there's, right? Like, that's so weird. The vast majority of the alliance members will be in the direct impact zone. So they're trying to threaten. And Ukraine's not even in the alliance. So they're trying to threaten NATO with a nuclear explosion. I think that's a direct threat. I think that needs to be read as a direct threat. Because again, I'm just saying, I mean, it's all the way over here. It's in Russian-controlled territory. It's on the other side of the fucking river. If you think NATO cares about Romania, I have an NFT to sell you. You know, and honestly, Hungary's full of fascists anyways. Sprinkle some cancer on them. Fuck them. Nah, that's rude. It's very callous. Nobody deserves that. But, yeah. That's a threat. This is a threat. Leaders, and here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about. Sometimes news articles answer their own questions. Here's this summit. Mentions a summit that you probably don't know anything about if you're just casual news enjoyer. Even if you're not just a casual news enjoyer, you might not know about that summit. And then it tells you about it later on down here. Oh, actually, I did know about this. What? Am I crazy? Interesting. Weird. So let's see. International Atomic Energy Agency. So I hate hearing about these people because, like, how do they do these inspections? No one talks about that. You know? No one's like, yeah, they went onto the roofs and directly looked at where Ukraine was saying the explosives were. Like, no, it doesn't say anything like that. And then any visible indications. And it's like, I don't know. You know, maybe they doctored those photos. It's possible. Zelensky's got skin in the game, obviously. He wants us to think the reactor is about to fucking melt down tomorrow. Who knows? Can we, while analyzing this, think that Russia is planning a local explosion in order to stop Ukrainian operations on the battlefield? Yes, Zelensky said. But that's what Zelensky says. Possible disasters. They should, I mean... Oh! Ukraine for the first time admitted responsibility for the October 2022 attack that damaged Russia's bridge to the occupied Crimea Peninsula. That was the one with the, that was the one that blew up the fucking, train. Yeah. Holy shit. So cool. I mean, everyone knew that they did it, but like... They admit it almost a year later. Interesting. I guess eventually you get it. Like, I don't know. What good does it do to keep it secret when everyone knows? In order to break the logistics. I think it worked, didn't it? $273 since the strike on the bridge. Jesus fucking Christ, that's crazy. I have wasted the last 273 days doing nothing. God. Ukraine's ascension to NATO must be started now. Disagree. Interestingly enough, that summit will be held in Vilnius, which is in Lithuania. Former president. Interesting. Explained why it's necessary. Man, we don't care. We don't care. Video appears to show Wagner troops preparing to leave Africa. That's good. It's probably some of the best news for Africa this year. There's not too much to read about that. I don't think that's worth looking at. It's not. I mean, what are we gonna learn? Right? What are we gonna learn? There's probably still a fuck ton Wagner troops in Europe, Africa. Dozens. Wow. Dozens. Ooh. I mean, it is good. It's fucking great, really. Whatever it takes to get them out of Africa. Nightmare's blueprint for state capture. Yeah. Yep. Need as many of them gone from there as possible. And failed drug war. Ukrainian strategy has become a model. Taiwanese beef up military to face China threat. Yeah. Come on. Hold up. Does that show up? No. Oh, goodness. Interesting. Weird. I mean, I like it, but that's not how I would have thought that it would work. Alright. Ron DeSantis presidential bid is giving life to a struggling Florida Democratic Party. I mean, not really. It's Florida. This is wishful thinking. It doesn't fucking matter. The state will be underwater before a Democrat wins an election. That'll be why a Democrat wins an election, because it will be an unincorporated territory, and it will pass to a Democratic president to manage it while it turns into a fucking military base. Nothing is. I mean, it's slow Sunday. Slow news Sunday. Nothing's happening. Supreme Court's disorienting elevation of religion. Disorienting to who? These people, they're not writing articles for the New York Times. I'm the New York Times. Hi, everybody. I'm out of touch with society. I don't know what words mean anymore. I don't even want to read that article. I mean, it's just bogus. It's just bullshit. Disorienting elevation of religion. Like, fuck off. Where Clarence Thomas entered an elite circle and opened a door to the court. Okay, both of these articles, New York Times, disorienting elevation of religion, entered an elite circle and opened a door to the court. To who? Opened the door to the court to who? Narrow victory, bruising confirmation fight, isolated and disillusioned. This is like saying he got canceled. I don't care how you felt after some old white people in the Senate asked you a few questions. You're on the Supreme Court now. Isolated and disillusioned. Motherfucker, you determine law for the rest of the country. Isolated and disillusioned. This is... Two people wrote this. They both like this sentence. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Might have been a celebration. It was. Oh no. That's so stupid. Well, I don't want to. You know, it's his life. If that's what he thinks is true, then... Fuck. Oh, God. It makes you wonder, though. It's like he sees this. He's like, oh, I didn't get these jobs because I was a beneficiary of affirmative action. I was just a token black guy. Yeah? Yeah? Just the law firms, though, right? Whatever. Fuck them. Fucking idiot, man. And then, I mean, who cares about this? Stop talking to us about Horatio Alger. Like, I guess that's because this is, it's the networking. It's the Ivy League inner circle. But I mean, that, to be fair, you can't expect them to be, you can't expect any of them to be hermits, not socialize. I guess it's the way they socialize. Yeah, here we go. Proximity to a lifestyle of unimaginable material privilege. It's like, you have to just be living in some sort of like fantasy land to think that the people on the highest court of the land that have essentially no oversight, we're ever gonna just be humble fucking middle America flyover state farming altruists of pure moral value. It was never gonna happen. One-time heir apparent. How do you become the two-time heir apparent? You know what I mean? One time, that's pretty good. I've never once been the heir apparent to anything. I don't think. One time. Maybe what's more impressive was the three-time heir apparent. Oh, it just keeps getting hired back by Warren Buffett. Close personal friends. Montana. Everyone's got a ranch in Montana. Personally, I do not understand the appeal. Waterfront mansion in Florida. Whole state's waterfront. Harlan Crow. Okay, great. Bought his mom's house. Here we go. Look at his tenure at his fraternity. Benefits? No way. A broader cohort of wealthy and powerful friends? No way. And it's so weird because, like, Oh, fuck, I'm at the wrong. I don't want to go back, but one article clearly indicating how open and obvious, the we don't even need to read the rest of this article. This is just going over everything that was revealed the past 3 weeks. Reputation defenders. Yeah, we definitely don't need to read this article. The entire last quarter of the article is people defending his reputation. And the first half is just describing his social life. I don't know. I guess this is interesting. This might be worth reading. I don't really like the New York Times, though. Fuck them. Yeah. Yeah. Disorienting elevation of religion. Here's where the dude gets all of his ideas from. Do you people talk to each other at all? I don't get it, man. The importance of staying angry at the Supreme Court. Man, the importance of fucking eviscerating and abolishing the Supreme Court. You don't need to stay angry. You don't need to stay angry, man. There's a constitutional crisis. The highest court in the land got rid of stare decisis. They don't care about upholding prior decisions of the Supreme Court. They don't care about lying. They don't care about taking bribes. They don't care about accountability. They're undemocratic. It's not... I mean, fuck, dude. They gave George Bush the election. This isn't even the first time the court... they just keep fucking things up. We gotta get rid of those assholes. Marijuana in the military. As if no one paid attention to the Vietnam War. Marijuana in the military. Yeah, it's been there forever. Congratulations. They were smoking pot in villages in France after Normandy. They were doing cocaine in villages in France after Normandy. Marijuana in the military. Yeah, let them toke up. Who cares? Same with President Joe Biden on completing the destruction of the United States chemical weapons stockpile. Interestingly enough, Dole Chemical is still in business. So that article is entirely misleading, and it is clearly a PR stunt for the election. He wants to build up his moral character in the eyes of the public without having to actually do anything. If he wanted to actually do anything, he would destroy the stockpile, he would stop funding Dole Chemical, and he would apologize to Vietnam. But he's not going to do any of that. He's not going to do any of that. This is basically just the most subtle form of stock buybacks for the Pentagon. Okay? Here we go. This is the thought process. Because obviously if shit hits the fan, the Pentagon's going to order chemical weapons again. Right? It's going to happen. They don't care. Nobody really cares. It's most likely a Republican president in the White House in the next 8 years. It's most likely Ukraine conflict gets worse in the next 8 years before it gets better. It's most likely there's another foreign conflict that breaks out that we get involved in the next 8 years. I mean, the chances of that happening are greater than 50%. The idea, there's never going to be, as long as we invest in the military-industrial complex the way we do, there will probably be some conflict that we are always a part of, which is terrifying. But yeah, you have to get rid of the stockpile, and you have to stop the company that would produce the stockpile, which isn't going to happen because there are a lot of industrial chemicals that we do need. But the reason this is a stock buyback is because if you just get rid of the stockpile and the means of manufacturing are still there, well, now the price is really fucking high again because you have to buy and you don't have any, so you need to buy a bunch, and you just got rid of a bunch of the resources used to, make them, so there's no stockpile, right? So you're going to have to buy twice as much as you would otherwise need to because you're not replenishing a stockpile, you're creating a new stockpile. And then they just get richer. So that's cool. But whatever. Yeah, let's read it. Let's see what Biden had to say. Short and sweet. For more than 30 years, worked tirelessly to eliminate the stockpile. Safely destroy the final ammunition in that stockpile. Okay, so to be fair, it's been a bit of a doomer. I didn't know this has been going on for 30 years. So what is that? Since the 90s? So right after Vietnam. Well, not right after, but successive administrations have determined that these weapons should never again be developed or deployed. That just doesn't matter. That has never stopped America. It's the first time an international body has verified destruction of an entire category of declared weapons of mass destruction. Cool. And so also, I mean, it does sort of leave you wondering, because this has been going on for 30 years, but did he, like, speed it up, do you think, to be able to make this statement? I guess if he was planning it more for a PR stunt, you could have done it a lot closer to, you know, probably like November of this year. It would look way better the closer to 2024 you do it. I don't know if anyone will be thinking about this in the middle of the election cycle. But presidents always run. And typically they get reelected. I don't know. He probably never brings this up on the campaign. But dude is weird. Biden is not normal. That's interesting. But expected. That's how taxes work. This is, you know, I don't think anyone thought that it would be different. This is like baby's first introduction to, I don't know, whatever. Florida suffers consequences of DeSantis' political games with public health. Water is wet. This is so cool. I love this guy. I love this guy so much. I love how article about Trump saying something crazy. Top video, MTG. Who cares? That's not why I clicked on the article. You know, like I want to see this. I don't care about this. You know, why is the article structured like that? Who did that? This is it. This is what we came here for.
He said, if you endorse me in the state of Florida, which we love, we all love
Can we put
Florida.
subtitles on this?
And
No?
remember, Florida's
Okay.
easier than other places.
Fuck me.
You have the ocean and you have the sun. There's something
We're
about
gonna
that
watch
that
it a couple
works.
times anyways.
But you have the sun too.
Love hearing
but
this
you
guy
don't have the
talk.
ocean, I can tell you. You definitely don't have the ocean.
Definitely.
Maybe someday you'll have the ocean. You never
Someday. You never know. The cheering's what's bizarre about this.
Hopefully it's a long time away, right? Hopefully. But he said, if you endorse me, I win. I say, look, you know what?
That's not that bizarre.
He said, if you endorse me in the state of Florida, which we love, we all love Florida. And remember, Florida's easier than other places. You have the ocean and you have the sun. There's something about that that works. But you have the sun too, but you don't have the ocean, I can tell you. You definitely don't have the ocean. Maybe someday you'll have the ocean. You never know.
You never know. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Where did he say that? Nevada? Arizona. No, Las Vegas is in Nevada. Just for reference. I like looking at maps. Looking at maps is sick as hell. If you don't like looking at maps, you're an idiot. Okay? Let me just put it to you like that. Only smart people look at maps. Alright. So, basically, he's saying what we're all thinking, which is how much better would the world be if this part of California and Mexico was underwater. Boom. The Gulf of Vegas. The Vegas Gulf. The Southern Californian Ocean. Boom. You know what? Let's wrap Phoenix in there while we're at it. Fuck you, Phoenix. All that. Right there. Global warming. Come on. Best case scenario. Boom. The whole thing. All the way to Cabroca. Nobody cares anyways. Fuck fuck you, LA. No, but so obviously that's never gonna happen. And it's, I think, gosh, I mean, Trump is just batshit insane anyways. There's nothing normal about him. So it's impossible to try and, like, say what he was thinking or the way he meant something, except in, like, very obvious and clear-cut cases. But I think the way he's talking in this one, it's, I mean, think about the way it comes across, too. He's talking about Florida, and then he's talking about Nevada, and it's just that dopey old white guy way of talking when you like yourself as much as you think other people like you, and you think other people like you way too much. You know, he's just having fun. He's just comparing Nevada to Florida and going, okay, well, you guys are different. He's just being a dopey old white guy. I don't think there's anything absurd about this. If anything, it's like the only way to breach global warming in a positive way with that type of crowd, because that's what he's talking about. Global warming. It shows he's aware of it, at least. But the crowd probably thought he was joking about global warming. They probably were like, yeah, the ocean will never get here because global warming isn't real. They probably weren't even thinking about the fact that even if it is real, the ocean will still never get there. That'd be fucking insane, wouldn't it? What are you gonna do? Whoa, what is this? I did not. Did I click on that? Did I click on Riot Games? Did that fucking pop up for some reason? What the fuck? Jesus Christ, man. I am not. The only time I've owned a computer that actually did. The last time I owned a computer that only operated off of my inputs alone, I was hearing dial up on the fucking headphones when someone picked up the phone and I was on the internet. Big beautiful sea rise. This was exactly the evil scheme of supervillain Lex Luthor. Was it? I don't know, but that guy, Shinigami Eyes, tells me he's a fucking transphobe, so he can eat shit and die. 2,000 feet above sea level. Yeah, let's all hope for that. Just gonna black out California's Magic Sharpie. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, that's... Yeah. Yeah. Nothing there. Nothing new there. Notifications. That's so funny. This is a death sentence for me. This is actually a pretty big story. Getting rid of alimony. I don't know. At that point, does Florida have no-fault divorce? The only reason I can think of not getting rid of no-fault divorce, but getting rid of alimony instead, is that they don't have no-fault divorce. But, I mean, why not just do both? Either is the thing. So maybe he does the other one later. Does Florida have no-fault divorce? Doesn't, it is a no-fault divorce state. Okay. I think, who's that closeted gay? Steven Crowder. He lives in Texas, I think. I think he lives in Texas. But anyways, Florida has no-fault divorce. So I bet he goes after that next. I bet DeSantis goes after that next. Then Steven Crowder moves to Florida after he breaks up with his wife. Let's see, has he said anything about on alimony in Florida. Let's see if he's talking about this. What does he have to say about this? I guess he's been taking a break, huh? Ever since people called him an abuser. Fucking hate that guy. No, he hasn't said anything. The original butt mask. Oh my god. What the fuck? Holy shit. Okay. I mean, what's there to say about this? It's just cruel. It's hateful. Freedom Institute. Damn, man. I wish I could get 2 milli to fight liberals on the internet. Imagine being in college and asking for $2 million from the government. $2 million from Obama's government to fight liberals on the internet. That's awesome. I love this place. Let's, it occurs to me that not everyone knows what alimony is. What is alimony? Financial support that a person is ordered by a court to give to their spouse during separation or following divorce. He is said to have paid $300 million alimony to his first wife. Also called aliment maintenance, spousal support, and spouse maintenance, is a legal obligation on a person to provide financial support to their spouse before or after marital separation or divorce. The obligation arises from the divorce law or family law of each country. Let's look at one of these silly images. Court-ordered alimony. This didn't explain anything. 4 different dates. You know? This is a worthless image. This is actually... This is actually a better image than this one. Not artistically. Informationally, sure. Alimony in Utah. So, it seems like it's different than child support, basically. It's for the spouse, specifically. A year after he nixed a similar bill that sought to eliminate permanent alimony and set up a formula for alimony amounts based on the length of marriage. First Wives Advocacy, coalition of mostly older women. Huh. On behalf of the thousands of women who our group represents, we are very disappointed in the governor's decision to sign the alimony reform bill. Wait. Oh, they're talking about SB 1416. For some reason I thought they were talking about the one that said that he refused to sign earlier. And again, see, this is so interesting. It's reasonable to expect this article to talk about the bill that he did sign, but how do you leads in talking about how he didn't sign one earlier? Tell me more about that. What changed? It's not like he just started being a piece of shit. He's been doing this shit for a while. So I want to know what's different. But it's not going to tell me. It's just going to talk to me about how hurt these people are, which is actually, for an Orlando news article from a Orlando news publisher, I'm kind of impressed that they're talking about the effect that this will have on Floridians. I'd have thought that they'd just push out propaganda. Say, fuck yeah, thank you, Mr. DeSantis. Do you want me to suck your nuts for you? Years-long effort to do away with permanent alimony has been a highly contentious issue. It elicited fearful testimony from members of the First Wives group, but it also spurred impassioned pleas from ex-spouses who said they had been forced to work long past the age they wanted to retire because they were on the hook for alimony payments. That is interesting. I do think that's interesting. Everyone deserves the right to retire. Everyone should be able to stop working at some point. So those women probably need alimony. They probably legitimately need that money. But at the same time, people shouldn't be working past retirement. But there's got to be some way to make those two things work together. Right? I don't want someone's alimony to be dependent on somebody else working past retirement. That does not seem good to me. Got to be a way to make that work. Florida Family Fairness is pleased with the Florida legislature. Family fairness. See, family fairness. It's how do you? That's ironic. Anything that adds clarity and ends permanent alimony is a win for Florida families. All right, if you say so. But only half of them. It's only a win for half. It's only a win for half of the families. The proposal received relatively little public pushback. Florida bars family law section. Huh. Wait, that's a little confusing. So, relatively little pushback, a blessing of the family fairness, and the family law section. But they clashed over the issue in the past. So, again, and then it doesn't tell me, I guess I'm supposed to assume. Well, based on how the article's been written, the Family Fairness organization likes the law. So I guess I'm assuming that the family law section doesn't. And then doesn't explain why. Like, I want to hear about the family law section fighting the family fairness org. But I'm not going to go fucking research Florida law history news articles. That sounds so boring. It sounds like a giant waste of fucking time. Learn about Florida divorce law. Fucking, I don't hate myself. Don't hate myself that much. Supporters said it will codify into law a court decision in 92 divorce case that judges use as a guidepost in making decisions about retirement. Okay, so this is... So... Such as the age and health of the person who makes payments, customary retirement age, that occupation, the economic impact it would have on the recipients, and the motivation or retirement and likelihood of returning to work for the person making the payments. I think, that's good in theory. The issue becomes when we consider the type of judge in Florida and how the vast majority of judges are probably going to be emphasizing fairness of making someone work past retirement versus the fairness of taking away someone's alimony. And that could mean that could mean that more likely than not people's alimony is being reduced, which is to be expected. That's kind of, I don't think anyone thinks this is gonna lead to a bunch of equitable decisions. It seems like this is pretty much gearing up either to be just really dumb law that ends up hurting more than it does helping in any way, or something that the judiciary looks at and says, you know what, 99% of the time alimony is needed, is necessary, and we're gonna reduce the payments maybe, but we're not gonna end alimony in most cases. And that's what I hope happens. But you never know with Florida. You can never tell. They might just start ending alimony all across the board. Because here's the thing. A bunch of people, the people receiving alimony don't have the money for an attorney to represent them in court. over this. The people paying alimony might have the money for an attorney. And they will definitely be coming back to court to get their alimony terminated. But I don't know. I feel like if you're at the point where you want to retire, but you're also paying alimony, do you really have that much? Like, if you had enough money saved where you would retire if you weren't paying alimony, then you are either paying a shit ton of alimony or you don't have a whole lot of money saved to retire, actually. And the cost of relitigating your alimony from attorney's fees and having to show up to court, take the day off from work, that can't be cost effective. Very interesting. Courts are impacted anyways. A lot of those cases might be frivolous. Get thrown out. You never know. Court's weird. Alright, well. What else is there? What else is happening in the world? Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done with this. Done with this garbage. Garbaggio. Fucking hell, man. Fuck off.